The misinformation about that topic out there is insane. And I had to do a video about that because I couldn't see it anymore. I couldn't handle the misinformation out there because what they're telling you about that topic, you should basically do quite the complete opposite of what they're saying. And what we're going to talk about now or today in that video is the most important organ in your body when it comes to your health, which is your liver. And specifically, we're going to talk about fatty liver. And fatty liver basically describes that your liver, or it's the explanation of it is basically that your liver, that there is fat building up in your liver more than it should be. That's basically what is the explanation of fatty liver. And there are 25 to 30% in the US and basically all around the world that have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. That means that people that drink no to little alcohol have a fatty liver. And because if you drink alcohol, everybody is blaming a fatty liver on alcohol, but there's so much more to it when it comes to your liver and fatty liver than just alcohol, and we're gonna go right into that in the video right now. So what is the misinformation that they're telling you about all the time? The misinformation is that fructose is causing fatty liver. They're saying that if you drink or if you consume more fructose than your body can handle or that you can use up at that time, your liver will convert that fructose into fat. Wrong. Wrong. That's absolutely not true. Your liver is not doing that. You can drink or eat as much glucose and fructose and fruit sugar from healthy sources. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the GMO, I'm not talking about the GMO high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, of course you should avoid that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about healthy sources of healthy sugars that are in fruits and vegetables, in starchy vegetables, in fruit juices. You can drink 32 ounces of orange juice every day and you won't get fatty liver. It can even heal your fatty liver, because fatty liver is not caused by too much sugar. Fatty liver is, as the name says it already, fatty liver. It's caused by fat and not by sugar. There's so much fat buildup in your bloodstream, in your liver. That is because of the overconsumption of fat. Mainly, it's not only that. There are other things that are leading to it, which I'm going to go into right now. So, the moment or the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues when it comes to fatty liver is thick blood. Okay? Thick blood is the result of chronic dehydrated blood. And your blood is chronically dehydrated, which is for the most people out there. Most people are chronically dehydrated even though you think you are hydrated, but most people out there are chronically dehydrated because most people are on high protein and high fat diets. And if you have a high fat diet, that means your bloodstream is filled with fats. And that means that there's less oxygen in your blood. Higher fat, less oxygen in your blood. Less oxygen means your blood is not flowing that good anymore. If your bloodstream is filled with fats, it becomes more thickened, it becomes more dirty, it becomes more dehydrating. And if you have dirty, thick and dehydrated blood, there are more toxins and more pathogens accumulating in your bloodstream. And that means that there are more toxins coming through the hepatic portal vein that is entering, that is basically the main highway where blood is coming to your liver. There are so much more toxins and pathogens that are entering the liver. And this is one of the main reasons, besides that you eat a high-fat diet, that you get a fatty liver, because the liver gets so overburdened of all these toxins. You have to imagine that every single toxin that is coming in your liver, in your body, your liver has to detain that toxin, your liver has to neutralize it, your liver has to take care of it, your liver has to get it out of the body. And most of the time, our livers are so overburdened that the liver needs to store these toxins in the liver itself, which is making it harder for the liver then again to produce more bile, to take care of the fat, to disperse the fat that you eat every day for every meal, because everybody is telling you, you have to eat a high fat, high protein meal every time, you need to take care of your proteins, you need to take care of your fats, but they don't know about the liver and what the liver is actually doing. And why is even the liver storing these toxins in the liver? Because one of the main goals of the liver is to protect your heart and your brain. If the liver is gathering these toxins, and if the liver can store the toxins, they don't free float in your bloodstream. If they free float in your bloodstream, they can enter your heart and your brain. And we don't want that, because that can actually cause some real trouble. But your liver is such a strong force that it is able to gather and store all of these toxins in the liver to protect you. But there will come a point, if you don't cleanse the liver, that the liver is so overburdened and maxed out that it won't be able to handle any more toxins, and it has to dump these toxins into your bloodstream. And the more fat you eat, the more toxic blood is coming into your liver, the more fatty your liver gets, the less your liver is able to take care of that fat, to process that fat. So the fat is gathering in and around the liver, and then you get the first signs of a fatty liver is basically that you have the visceral fat, that you have the fat on your tummy that is showing up for the first time. That means the liver is struggling already. So if you want to not have a fatty liver, you should take care of your diet, you should take care of your nutrition in terms of lowering the fats and the proteins. I know that sounds weird, but you should, or not weird, but counterproductive of what you hear all the time. But let's just think about that for a second, okay? 25 to 30% in the world have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. So a fatty liver that is not caused by the overconsumption of alcohol. Okay? Please do me a favor, and the next time you do grocery shopping, look at what everybody buys. Look at what everybody is eating, the majority of the people. Look at what they're eating, and not only like in typical supermarkets, also in Whole Foods, also in these organic shops. Look at what these people are buying. Are they buying meat, dairy, eggs, bread? Or are they buying huge amounts of fruit and fruit juices and starchy vegetables? What are they buying? And be honest to yourself. Nobody's eating fruit. Nobody's drinking fruit juices. And everybody has fatty liver. Every third person on this planet, or at least in the US, in some countries it's even worse, but the US is always like, I have the feeling the US, they always want to be the best at everything, so they're also the best at having the most diseases, but you always do that. But when it comes to that, nobody basically is drinking fruit juices every day. They eat processed food, they eat meat, they eat dairy, they eat eggs, they eat high-fat meals all the time, which is making its way, which is leading the path to fatty liver. I don't see anybody drinking fruit juices out there. Of course, if you're on Instagram and you follow these raw guys that are juicing every day, yeah, they juice every day and they look fit. They don't have fatty liver because the fructose never caused fatty liver. The people that have fatty liver, they didn't even drink one fruit juice in their whole life. Meanwhile, doctors are telling to them, yeah, you have fatty liver because you consume too much fructose. You should be really careful with the fructose because the liver is converting that fructose. It's just all of these studies, all of these claims are therefore that you are afraid of the healthy sugar in fruit, which is the very thing that is healing you the most. It's the very thing that's healing you the most. There's no other food on the planet that is more healing than fruit. And they always try to prevent you from eating these healing foods. With all these paid for studies, by all these pharmaceutical companies, they just want you sick and they just want you to have symptoms that you still buy, that you bring the cash in, that you buy your medication and that you don't heal. But in order, specifically when it comes to fatty liver, the very thing that your liver is thriving on is glucose, is fructose from fruits. It's the very thing that keeps your liver going. Your liver has to do so much, and the more fat and proteins you eat, the more overburden your liver. That's what's going on actually. And if you really want to know on how to heal your chronic illness, maybe you even have fatty liver, maybe you are overweight, maybe you have fatigue, maybe you have brain fog, maybe you have, or it could be anything that is chronic. If you want to get rid of that, there's a link in the description for my website. Please check that out, and there you can book a free discovery call with me, and then we can see if and how I can help you. And it is finally the time for you to get rid of that pharmaceuticals, to get rid of the false claims that your doctors make all the time, and to take your health into your own hands. I mean, that's what everybody wants, right? If you don't want that, I don't know, you're not in the right place here. But if you want to claim your health back, if you want to get out of that vicious cycle, and if you want to be there for your kids, if you want to have a successful career, if you want to provide for your family, whatever it is, you need to be healthy. And if you have a fatty liver or any kind of chronic illness, then you're not healthy, obviously, and you can't do the things that you actually want to do. So make sure to check that out. Check out my website, book your free discovery call, and see you in the next video. Thank you for listening.